Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? Well, I'm gonna hang out here for a minute, see if anybody shows up. Mm, just give a couple ideas or messages, and if anybody wants to chat, we can do that for a minute. And I'm gonna probably go outside, walk the dog, excuse me, and get some nature. Hello, Ralph. How you doing, man? Doing well today, my friend. We got some cool clouds forming outside. I might go get some cloud pictures. I got my camera battery charging. It might be a good thing to do. I think I'm gonna take. I might make one video of all my sky pics. Um, just put them all together in like a little compilation thing. But I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some more stuff for other videos. I'm gonna do an intro video for this channel so that way when I do other messages that ain't lives, I can have an intro, and then as I set it up to where we can do call in, um, when it comes on, I'll have a whole little intro video, real dramatic and cool, and lead right into the show, and then we can have it. I'll get it set up to where we can start doing call in. Um, I'll get better mics set up and all that stuff. I've already went and started moving stuff around today. Like I put my one desk here, and uh, this other little thing is pretty much where I'm gonna put portable. I'm giving myself enough room on top to where I can put drum machine or portable mics or anything that I need to. Um, and then I put my one desk over there. Now that's got my keyboard on it, but the keyboard I can take it off so that way I can do, you know, art related stuff. And then over there I've got, you know, pads of paper and other stuff. But then here, that's where the main stereo is, some of the instruments. But I got enough area on top there where there's just stuff temporarily sitting there, but like all this crap I can take off there, and then I can set other components here that I need to create music and video and stuff with. And then of course I get to stare. Well, it needs cleaned up, but my little area there. And then when I'm doing this work, I'm looking, of course, outside. So inspiration, man. Yeah, and and then that picture up there that my friend painted, or not painted, but drew. Technically, it's etching, but I'd eventually like to, instead of just having random pictures like that thing up there I made from a calendar. Eventually, what I'm gonna do is collect friends' artwork. I'm gonna decorate my wall. If I'm gonna decorate my walls and art, it might as well be artwork the friends do. And I got a lot of friends that are artists, so I'd be able to support their stuff plus have beautiful things on my wall. You know what I mean? And I have some friends that you can get a hold of, and uh, depending on what kind of art they do, they'll do something custom for you, kind of thing. Um, yeah, yeah, man. The pictures, yeah, put them in like some kind of slideshow or a video. I got Filmora 9 that I bought, so technically, I think I have to do some of the graphics card in there because they just updated it the other day. But it said that it had the Filmora 9 live, so technically I should be able to go live through my Filmora to YouTube and even use green screen. They got a whole channel devoted to it here on YouTube, and man, you can make music video, all kind of stuff with that. The whole basic thing that you get when you buy it, you can do a lot with. But of course, like any software program, you can add on to it, by paying for other services through them and stuff. But all the stuff you get for just, I think it was $40 I paid on Amazon is quite a bit of stuff, man. It's pretty cool. Um, like I said, I think I have something going on as far as a graphics card because I lost my transitions, which sucked because the transitions can go in between clips. And you can do kaleidoscope, fade in, fade out. Have the picture spin around and come back and all that neat stuff. And that's how I did one of my Sky Pick videos because I got one on there that's got a little short compilation of stuff. Jamming to some music on another YouTube window I got open. That's why I got the headphones on. They're actually studio monitors, man. I was watching Spirit Science yesterday, and they talked about a cool movie dealing with like spirituality and stuff, and it was Doctor Strange. They said it was Marvel Studios, and I was like, I think Disney owns that. Like Disney owns everything now, and a friend had Disney, um, has Disney, and I had access to it. So I went on there yesterday and I found the movie. So last night, when I got chilled out before like bedtime and stuff, I watched that movie, and I had these things on. Man, it was great. But I tell you what, I don't know exactly all my dreams. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I remember them later. Um, I used to have a little more dream recall, but it just depends on what happens. But this morning, for some odd reason, the only thing that showed up and like stuck out to me in a dream recall obviously had to do with something I was watching and different things yesterday, and I don't think it means anything at all. But I remember hearing before I woke up, the atmosphere has went through half of its life cycle. Because when I woke up, I was like, "The hell does that mean?" I start thinking back, and I'm like, I think it was just a compilation of crap from the day and that I'd watched and different stuff because it really made no sense to anything going on, you know. But yeah, today is considered the day out of time. Tomorrow being the Galactic New Year. So if anybody feels kind of spacey and like time feels strange, Twilight Zone-ish, that's what it is. And it's actually a good thing. So you don't let it freak you out. That's a good time to like get out in nature. Go interdimensional. Have quiet time. Just on a day like this, just go into the spiritual realms, man. You got abilities you want to work on, anything that deals with, stuff that feels cosmic, interdimensional, magical, I mean, if you're into just walking out in the forest and, saying through my third eye, I can see the Fey world, I can see the elementals, go do that, man. And do it barefoot. Just, you know the ground you're walking in, you don't want to go like through snake territory with no shoes on. More than likely, you ain't gonna have issues. But yeah, it doesn't feel good when out of nowhere snakes just start sliding all around. I imagine that feel weird barefooted. I just say that because out back here where I walk my dog, come to find out there's some pretty good sized snakes out there. They're harmless, but yeah, I don't want to step on one barefooted, out of nowhere. Even though snakes don't bother me, it would just be a surprise I don't want at the moment. Not to mention, if I jump, the dog's going to really jump, and then he might take off, and it'd be a whole thing. Oh, man. Hey, listening to a cool song here, man. It really fits with everything going on. Um, Enigma, Return to Innocence, man. It's like I say, return to the child within, return to innocence, return to your heart. And of course, where does that lead, my friends? Well, you all know where that leads to. That leads to the divine realms, Great Spirit, the One, the I Am Presence, God. Like I've said a million times before, whatever you want to look at that as, takes you right there. So I think that's a pretty cool song to listen to. You know, um, they've been looking into that for a while, and it really does. But the funny thing is, when cannabis does mess with dream recall, even though when I was younger, I used to have a lot of dream recall, and I've been smoking cannabis for quite some time. But of course, as it became legal and I was able to smoke more cannabis and I didn't do anything else, drinking or anything, then yeah, it started kind of doing that. And you will notice that if you can take and stop smoking, sometimes like for me, because of the amount that I smoke sometimes, man, it can only take me like 5 days, and bam, stuff's back. But it could take a person up to a couple weeks off, and Yeah, you'll start getting dream recall. The crazy thing is most people I know report when they do that, they're like, okay, so I took time off from weed for a week or two, and they said not only did I get dream recall, but the dreams went crazy on me. Like, they woke up like, what the hell? All kind of stuff going on, and I've had that happen, and I still never figured out what was going on with these trains. It's just something to do with trains for a few days, and some like I think maybe it was a train station. Like little mall type of thing. I don't know, but it was a series of dreams. That's what I did. I stopped smoking for a while, and then I started having a bunch of dreams. And I remember waking up the next day going, "All right, that's it. Where's the notepad?" I was trying to write stuff down, and I'm like, I can't make any sense out of it. But sometimes them dreams can be like uh, when you have an LSD or a plant medicine type of thing, it take you some time to figure it out. Well, this was years ago, and I've had a lot of dreams that actually have come to meaning something, but those, nah, they never did show up as meaning anything. And I think it was just that, that I'd been smoking for so long that when I laid off, my dream world just went, ooh. But I take valerian root too, and that's supposed to help with dreams, but there's a possibility that the valerian root and cannabis, maybe I'm going more into deep sleep, passing the theta into the delta, and that's why the recall ain't as much. Because I used to stay so much in REM sleep, and it didn't seem like I was cycling. I started doing things to put me into deeper sleep. hmm Let's see here. That music was kind of very, 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 very operatic, which is all right sometimes, but at the moment it wasn't, just because it sounded kind of sad, and I have no idea what the language was. Yeah, yeah. That back and forth between everything feels like and then the next day it's like, what happened? It was like somebody kind of like went and like pushed everything right back into 3D and went, all right, it's nice and dense 3D feeling again, ain't it? It's like, God damn it, man. Oh, and I said, "Oh, damn it!" By the way, in case anybody's listening that's offended by the thing that sounds similar, starting with the G. Um, but yeah, man, but we got to remember though that it ain't actually like we hit a bad timeline or something screwed up our vibe completely. It's just the energy releases back and forth of the you know the rest of the peoples in the grid and stuff. So on those days, that's where we really gotta go more within our interdimensional realms, so that way we ain't feeling so much right in here. You know what I mean? Um, that's what I do. Get more of in a flow, and then kind of slightly meditative state, and actually go through the day like that. So that way I don't feel like I'm so much stuck in the dense heaviness here. Cause that'll happen, and it's usually released. 'Cause you can feel it out there. Everything just gets dense and funky, and it's like, oh crap. It's like, will this stuff just clear out already? You know, I like when I wake up and everything feels like fifth, sixth, 12th dimensional, whatever it is, and you're like, ooh, you're just waiting for orbs and stuff to start floating around, and just all kind of neat shit. Trees turn into great big rainbow beans or something and start walking around. I don't know. That's what it feels like sometimes. Like everything's just really magical, and at any moment, reality's just going to start flipping. Like you're doing a remote, and you're going to go, "That's cool, but we'll try this one. That's cool, but this one would be real neat." And then some days it's like, "Here you are, planet Earth." Listening to orchestral, like symphony type of stuff. I think it's, let's see, what all was the music they were doing here? Oh, the Last of the Mohican stuff. A friend showed me this. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, looks like you're the only one here commenting there, Ralph. I think we have somebody else here, unless that's counting me. But usually when I come on here, it says zero, so I don't think it counts me. Then again, we're dealing with computers that don't work right half the time, so who knows? Yeah, we're all constantly working on stuff, you know. It's like, and it can go quick too because just a few months ago it was really hard to reel stuff in, but now it's just like as soon as I feel that I'm like going into a screwy thought pattern, it's really easy to transmute out of it because I know where that's what's happening. It's like, oh, okay, ain't nothing real. I can go past that. Um, then you just start getting into the point where you just stay in that state more, and you just start seeing everything before it happens, and you don't really go into those modes or just whatever stuff. I mean, like I said, I still have my times. The last couple mornings, just because of everything that happened through all that releasing and all these craziest cycles and alignments that were going on. By the end of it, man, I was pretty white for a couple days, and I was literally damn near begging people to just talk to, and figure out just you know feel somewhat normal there for a minute. Well, what I consider to be normal, anyways. There's no exact set normal, but what felt normal to me. Um, but the great thing is like every time, it doesn't matter how much purging and crap that happens to you. If you go about it right, even if you are wore down afterwards, you're like hey, because you're like I'm now like so many more steps beyond where I was. Because every time it happens, you don't just move up a step, you start moving up more steps, and it like triples and quadruples, and then each time you do it, just gets to that point to where you're like boom, you just jump up. But yeah, it's like anything, it takes time. As long as we're walking around in um these kind of avatars and stuff like this, we're still going to be learning that. Well, I believe we're going to be doing that all the way till we get to the point to where we have no conscious awareness of self, ego, or anything anymore because we've evolved to the state where we're back to the one. Then I guess you're kind of done. But outside of that, existence is a state of awareness and experience, but it's always, always going to be a conscious evolution. Just existence alone has to be a conscious evolution to keep moving. You know what I mean? Just keep evolving. I wouldn't want to know what life was like if I wasn't trying to consciously evolve. I mean, that would be so weird to just be locked into a world that is whatever people tell you it is. They say, here's your world, and you go, okay. Whoa. That's so weird to not ask questions or be curious. Sometimes I feel like I've lost myself so much that I feel like me, but of course me is the soul in a higher plane, but almost like an alien walking into this world, just looking at everything, but not in a judgment, but in a weird sort of wonder of, wow, this is really strange. Why is it that these beings act this way? Why do they think these things will work? How did it get this way? How did they get out of control with this experiment? So odd, can't they feel it? You don't feel sorry for it. You don't want to judge it. But of course, at the same time, you want to see it release and everybody be free. And it's so easy to do. You're just kind of smiling because everybody's right on the edge of figuring it out. And you know that there's a bunch more people just like you all around. And the more we smile and the more that light shines, the closer them people are going to get to the edge of figuring it all out. But it still feels weird walking around as the alien in which I am now. The man that is not Dana, the soul that is using this avatar, which I quite like. It's very maneuverable. It's not really big. Doesn't take a lot of calories to work it, even though it seems to be a high metabolism kind of machine. It's got me and this bean around for 49 years this year. So, but it really does feel like that. There's many times where my eyes are huge, and I'm looking at them from way out everywhere. Like I'm in that tunnel of all time, of every piece of existence that is me. I feel it all. I am it. And even though I'm in all these places at once, I'm looking at this. We call this third dimensional reality. And I know it's about to change, but it looks very odd to me, like it never did before. Even though nature and all what the planet's doing just looks so beautiful. And I can feel it, and I can see the energies moving around, the elements, and all these different things flowing. It looks strange to see the human experiment and what has happened, and how many people just blindly followed it and never questioned. It's so good that ones like us have came here and questioned it all, to be able to be way showers and show them how close to the line they are. And if they just step a little closer, we'll grab their hand and we'll bring them on the other side of the fence. See what I mean about when they talk about that day out of time? You can really connect in beautiful ways with the divine. Things just start rolling. Things just start to flow. Before you know it, happiness is everywhere you go. uh, and if you like music, really find some music that touches your heart, touches your spirit. Play that. Play that and let yourself go into that flow space. And what could be even better is if you find music like that with no lyrics whatsoever. That way it can just go into your own place. And it can mean whatever it means to you. It can bring you into the deep places within your spirit, your heart, your soul. Anyways, that music all playing here. I'm gonna go walk my dog, and I'm going into my tutorials and stuff today, and that's why I got all that stuff set up. I'm gonna start making some music, make some videos for y'all, stick them right here on the old YouTube where it's free, and I'll share some consciously evolved performing art with y'all. And like I said before, y'all are doing creative things on your channels. Um, yeah, just keep in touch with one another. Let me know if I'm not subscribed to you and you got some stuff you want to share. Let me know who you are, where you're at. I've subscribed to all my friends' channels, whether it be spiritual stuff, be art, anything. Whatever what they do with their creativeness. So I'll share with one another. And like I said, remember, they say this is a day out of time where you can really connect deeply. And tomorrow is the beginning of the Galactic New Year. And to some, this might not mean a lot, but I looked back on my life when I figured out what the Galactic New Year was and the alignments and how everything worked, and realized that the biggest decisions of my life have always came around this time of year. That's when I quit drinking 16 years ago. July. July is when I moved here. July is when I first found out about this town years and years ago when my bicycle broke down trying to leave Michigan. July is always lined up with great change. So, with that great change, what's the greatest change that could possibly happen? But the great awakening of this world, a conscious evolution of this world. So think about that one when you go into meditative states or your place of Zen flow today. Think about the beauty we're creating because remember, when you're in what they call that imagination, you genies, magical people, you're creating the paradise in which we're going to because your imagination is your manifestation center. So keep in that realm, and before you know it, we'll be living there. Anyways, much love to each and every one of you. Beautiful day or evening, whatever it is in your little part of our beautiful, beautiful world. And never forget, we are the conscious evolution. Peace and love, y'all.